Welcome to the Main J Show. This is your boy Main J, and this is another episode of Maine-Chat. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing great. Hey. Y'all should know what to do by now. Please like, share, subscribe, push the little bell on the side, and you'll be updated every time I post a new video. All right, so let's dig on in. So I just want to talk real briefly about the Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, and Janet Jackson situation. And I don't want to talk about it from the Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake's like love affair relationship, or even like, whatever Justin and Janet possibly could have had going on. I just want to go from it from an apology point of view. Is it too late to apologize? Is this a Rihanna situation? Don't tell me you're sorry when you're not. You're only sorry because you got caught. So that's what I want to talk to y'all real quick. So for those of you who don't know, back in the day, I had to be like in high school, middle school at the time, Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears was a thing. Okay. And Britney Spears went on about how she was a virgin and all this other stuff. And that was her. That was like her brand. She was a virgin. She was keeping herself, and she was being a role model to other young girls, whatever the case may be. Do your thing, sister. But she started dating Justin Timberlake, and different things happened, and they ended up breaking up. But they broke up, according to Justin Timberlake, and what made it this big old thing was she wasn't being faithful, or she cheated, or whatever the case may be. And it was this big thing, and Britney Spears was made to look like the bad person because she broke Justin Timberlake's heart. And Justin Timberlake had this good image, hot throb, pretty boy type thing. And so it's this big thing, and Diane Sawyer in the video, and she was crying and all this other stuff. And that's the reason why it's being brought up now, because Britney Spears just recently had her docuseries, and the interview in his name came up. And then, of course, with the Janet Jackson situation, all these different things. And now, Justin Timberlake writes this long post about how he's sorry and how he owes them both an apology and how he needs to do things to make things right between both Britney and Janet. And it's one of those things. Justin Timberlake, do you really mean that apology? Are you only apologizing now because your PR is telling you to put a statement out? Now that this has come out, this has come forward, you got to put something, because we're in cancel culture. We're still in the Me Too movement. We're still in all these different things when it comes to woman power and unity and femininity and feminists and all the other stuff. So now it's like, if you don't say nothing quicker, so are you only apologizing because you kind of got exposed and put out there? Or do you really mean the apology? And my question I want to pose to y'all, is it ever too late to apologize? Is it ever too late? Of course, something goes on for years and people probably move on. But is it ever too late to apologize? Like, oh, that happened 10, 15 years ago. I don't think they even remember. Or, can you still apologize and mean it and it be accepted? I read a lot of comments under his post in particular, where it said, you're a day late and a dollar short. Now, I feel like he may be a day late, but I don't think that he's a dollar short because he got some money. Because you got to understand, when all of this happened, right? He was writing songs like Cry Me a River, and I think the NSYNC song, one of my favorite songs, Gone True Free Major Gone. And all these hot songs, like all the girls in my school was like, oh, Justin Timberlake's heart is broken, and da-da-da. If she don't want him, I'll take him, and I'll throw myself at him. And I'm like, y'all acting like, y'all got dumped by Britney Spears. It was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. But, he made a lot of money off that image, off that story. You know what I'm saying? And she got the short end of the stick with the interviews and being questioned about her sexuality and about her virginity and are you still a virgin and all this other stuff that they don't ask men. And he sat there and made and kept this image. Now, I think with the it's too late to apologize thing, number one, I don't think it's ever too late to apologize. I think it's only late once you're 6 feet under, or once the person who you owe the apology is 6 feet under. Then I think it's too late to apologize, obviously, because you can't speak, or you can't speak to them because they can't accept it. But I do think that there's a difference between being exposed and you have to put a statement out, and then I think there's a difference between sometimes you are really sorry, but the story done got so big, and then the media, and that's the reason why I wouldn't want to be a celebrity, because sometimes you may do something and make a mistake or do something stupid, like what I think Justin Timberlake did. He was a young man. He wanted to keep his image. I get it. As young man, you lie. Yeah, I hit it. I smashed it to be cool in front of your boys, and then you try to say she's lying and that you're telling the truth when she said no, you didn't, and all this other stuff. So I get that he probably had to keep up with that image, and probably PR was telling him, this is the story, this is the image. They believe it. You're making money off these songs and off this image, and the girls are loving it, and da 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 da. And it probably got too big, and it was like, dang, it's too late, because if I do apologize, then I got to say that I lied, or I got to say that, this or that, or I was upset and blah, 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 blah. Now, look, the truth is coming out. It's coming out. And now he put out this statement, like, I realized that I did do wrong by them. Now, once again, I say he is a day late. Like, sir, you waited till the doc. You see, you should have did this like a couple of months ago before you knew the doc. You don't know what's coming up, but I just want to say I apologize. We would have worked with you, Justin. We would have worked with you, brother. But on the dollar show, I do think that he owes her some money. Pay up, Mr. Timberlake. Pay up some money. The reason why I think that is because, once again, he wrote all these songs. He made all this money. He had this image, and she was getting the short end of the stick. Deals, depression, all this other stuff, not performing at shows. She's looking like the victim, the crazy one. What's that? Emotional duress, stress, distress, whatever that is. He owes her some money. I personally think so. Give her a portion. Whatever you made in sales off that image, off that look of being heartbroken, and all the girls buying your music and coming to your shows and buying the magazines and whatever it is, I think he owes a little bit of that. Now let's get on to Janet Jackson. Now Janet Jackson, I'm a little halfway with it, and all the feminists, please don't come for me, because I love me some Janet Jackson, but I'm on the fence with it. And the reason why I'm on the fence is because Janet Jackson is a Jackson. No matter what happens in her life, she gonna be all right. She gonna be cool. She gonna be good. PR, she know how to handle this. But when I remember that stunt going on, number one, I was a teenager, so I wasn't looking at it like, oh, it was a big deal in the Super Bowl and there was money and people, investors involved, and shame on her. I was a teenage boy. I went to school the next day. All the boys like, yo, did you see Janet? We wasn't correct saying, did you see her breast? We was like, yo, did you see Janet Jackson's titty? Yo, that my boy Justin Timberlake did that. Big ups to Justin Timberlake. So we wasn't thinking business and feminist and all the other stuff. But I really don't feel like Janet Jackson was affected that much, because she was already well established, older. She knew how to deal with the press. You get what I'm saying? She still was touring, putting out music, doing movies like Why Did I Get Married 1 and 2 and some other stuff. And then she did To Meet a Joe, and just she stayed consistent even after that happened. And I honestly think that was some press, because her brother was always in the limelight being attacked, And I think I honestly think that Justin Timberlake did her a favor by doing that, because it helped take some of the stress off her brother for the moment, because it was no longer about Michael Jackson and this and this and this and that and what's going on with him. It was like that, and that was the headlines for a while, and shame and different things. But I just thought it was a wardrobe malfunction, because that happens a lot, especially with females. They always, something's not pinned together or girdled up, or whatever the case may be. But maybe it was something that he really did do, because he said that he owes her an apology. But I'm a little on the fence with that one, because I think maybe if he did really pull it off and rip it by accident, or whatever the case may be, to get some credit or some kudo points or whatever the case may be, then yeah. But overall, I don't really feel like Janet Jackson was affected that much, at least from the outside looking at. I don't know what type of contracts she had or what type of deal she had. But even then, it's years later. You know what I'm saying? If we're really that sorry, or I feel like maybe do an interview or something like that, or once again send her a present too, send her something, because it was just, especially for Britney Spears, it was really, really bad. But I don't think that it's ever too late to apologize. I just think it's how you apologize. And once again, when you apologize, because even if it's 20 years later and you decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to man up, I'm going to woman up, I'm going to be the bigger person, or I'm going to admit that I was really wrong and go public with this. That's one thing. I just think because now it was exposed. Now it's like, dang, I have to say something. I have to do something. I have to admit that I was wrong. And if you have to, then own it, pay up, and do something about it. So that's just my spill on the Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears thing. I hope Britney Spears, is getting her stuff together. And it just shows you about, childhood stars and what goes on with them, and like, where are the adults, where are the PR, who's really helping these people solve these situations and letting them be kids sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Teenagers, they break up, they go through relationship stuff, and it's sad that they go through the public scrutiny of not ever sometimes to be teenagers or handle their young mistakes. And that's the only reason why when y'all watch my show, I don't always come out with whatever's hot. I like to wait, read up, do different things, so that way when I come from a different angle. I'm not just trying to attack and get on it and put my 2 cents in it, because you don't always know all the facts, and sometimes stuff is just sensitive and it shouldn't be talked about right then and there. But that's my spill. Thank you all for watching, tuning in. You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. Until the next time, this has been another episode of Maine-Chat. It's your boy Maine J. Peace.